Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Ludicrously odd. Fantastic Halloween costumes. Fanciful and unrealistic, foolish. A fantastic idea of his own importance. Existing in fancy only. Fantastic figures with bulbous heads the circumference of a bushel. Extraordinarily good or great, used especially as intensifiers. A fantastic trip to the Orient. Extravagantly fanciful in design, construction, appearance. Gauda's fantastic architecture. Ludicrously odd. Hamlet's assumed antic disposition. Act as or like a clown. A ludicrous or grotesque act done for fun and amusement. Ludicrously odd. Existing in fancy only. Ludicrously odd. A grotesque reflection in the mirror. Distorted and unnatural in shape or size, abnormal and hideous. Tales of grotesque serpents 8 fathoms long that churned the seas. Art characterized by an incongruous mixture of parts of humans and animals interwoven with plants. In an uncontrolled and rampant manner. Without civilizing influences. Wild tribes. A wild primitive state untouched by civilization. He lived in the wild. Without a basis in reason or fact. In a natural state, not tamed or domesticated or cultivated. Wild geese. Fanciful and unrealistic, foolish. A wild and uninhabited area left in its natural condition. It was a wilderness preserved for the hawks and mountaineers. Talking or behaving irrationally. Involving risk or danger. A wild financial scheme. Located in a dismal or remote area, desolate. A godforsaken wilderness crossroads. Of the elements, as if showing violent anger. Intensely enthusiastic about or preoccupied with. Of colors or sounds, intensely vivid or loud. Wild colors. Deviating widely from an intended course. A wild bullet. In a state of extreme emotion. Wild with anger. Marked by extreme lack of restraint or control. Wild talk. In a wild or undomesticated manner. Growing wild. Of behavior that is impressive and ambitious in scale or scope. In the grand manner. Used of a person's appearance or behavior, befitting an eminent person. A piano with the strings on a horizontal harp-shaped frame, usually supported by 3 legs. Of or befitting a lord. Of high moral or intellectual value, elevated in nature or style. A grand purpose. The cardinal number that is the product of 10 and 100. Ostentatiously rich and superior in quality. Extraordinarily good or great, used especially as intensifiers. Large and impressive in physical size or extent. The bridge is a grand structure. The most important and magnificent in adornment. Grand ballroom. Extraordinarily good or great, used especially as intensifiers. A howling success. A long, loud, emotional utterance. Their howling had no effect. Too improbable to admit of belief. Being or having the character of a miracle. Extraordinarily good or great, used especially as intensifiers. Too improbable to admit of belief. Being or having the character of a miracle. Extraordinarily good or great, used especially as intensifiers. A marvelous collection of rare books. Used as intensifiers. Real is sometimes used informally for really. Rattling is informal. A rattling good yarn. A rapid series of short loud sounds, as might be heard with a stethoscope in some types of respiratory disorders. Quick and energetic. Traveling at a rattling rate. Extraordinarily good or great, used especially as intensifiers. Had a rattling conversation about politics. Causing extreme terror. Extraordinarily good or great, used especially as intensifiers. Very great or intense. A terrific noise. Extreme in degree or extent or amount or impact. Extraordinarily large in size or extent or amount or power or degree. Tremendous sweeping plains. Extraordinarily good or great, used especially as intensifiers. A tremendous achievement. Extraordinarily good or great, used especially as intensifiers. Used as an intensifier, extremely well. The colors changed wondrously slowly. Extraordinarily good or great, used especially as intensifiers. Not known before. Used many strange words. Relating to or originating in or characteristic of another place or part of the world. Being definitely out of the ordinary and unexpected. Slightly odd or even a bit weird. A strange exaltation that was indefinable. Being definitely out of the ordinary and unexpected. Slightly odd or even a bit weird. Not commonly encountered. Two career families are no longer unusual. Not usual or common or ordinary. A scene of unusual beauty. Not realistic. Unrealistic expectations. Lacking material form or substance. Unreal. Contrived by art rather than nature. Lacking in reality or substance or genuineness. Not corresponding to acknowledged facts or criteria. Ghosts and other unreal entities. Not actually such. Being or seeming fanciful or imaginary. This conversation is getting more and more unreal. Far more than usual or expected. An extraordinary desire for approval. Beyond what is ordinary or usual. Highly unusual or exceptional or remarkable. Extraordinary authority. Of an official, serving an unusual or special function in addition to those of the regular officials. An ambassador extraordinary. Have a fancy or particular liking or desire for. Something many people believe that is false. A predisposition to like something. She had dismissed him quite brutally, relegating him to the status of a passing fancy, or less. Imagine. Conceive of. See in one's mind. Imagination or fantasy. Held by Coleridge to be more casual and superficial than true imagination. Never had the wildest flights of fancy imagined such magnificence. Not plain, decorative or ornamented. Fancy handwriting.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.